Imagine this. You're watching your whole community, everything, your livelihood, your tradition, that all depends on this one huge expensive ritual. The food's ready, the priests are there, sacrifice is about to start,
Yeah.
and then this kid, maybe 7 years old, steps up and just says, "Stop. Everything you're doing is flawed. Forget the rain god. We're worshiping that mountain over there instead."
And that's exactly the moment we're diving into today. It's this massive upheaval in Govardhana, theological, economic, social, everything.
Right.
The established power, Indra, the king of heaven, gets radically challenged by Krishna. And it leads to this incredible week-long test of divine power.
We spent a good amount of time digging into the source material on this, really getting into the details of this epic showdown. Our mission today is to really unpack, three key things.
Yeah.
The philosophy Krishna used to justify ditching tradition, the really inclusive new system
Right.
he set up right away, economic and social, and, of course, that unforgettable lesson in cosmic authority that came out of it all.
Absolutely. Let's
Yeah.
get into it.
Okay, so let's start with the scene. The community, led by Nanda Maharaja, they're all geared up for the Indra Yajna. It's this traditional sacrifice. Why was this particular ceremony, the one for the rain god,
Yeah.
so central? Why was it everything to them?
Well, for the cowherd men, it literally was life itself. Indra is the traditional king of heaven, sure, but crucially, he's the supplier of water.
Ah, right, the rain.
Exactly. Nanda explains it very clearly. No rain, no crops, no crop. Well, no economy.
Makes sense.
And without a stable economy, they believed focusing on deeper spiritual life was just impossible. So showing gratitude to Indra wasn't just, tradition. It felt like an absolute must for survival and even for their ultimate liberation.
But then Krishna, who, let's remember, is this omniscient kid, starts questioning his own father. Very politely, mind you, but the questions are designed to disrupt. He's asking about the purpose, the result, the whole procedure, and he insists, for those who are liberal and saintly, there is no secrecy. He's definitely pushing Nanda.
Oh, absolutely. And the sources are clear. Krishna had sort of a two-pronged goal here.
Okay.
First, the philosophical angle. The Bhagavad Gita says it plainly. Worshipping demigods, even powerful ones like Indra, only gets you temporary material stuff.
Right, and it calls people who chase that less intelligent.
Exactly. So Krishna was correcting who they should be worshipping, fundamentally.
Okay, and the second reason, you said it was more personal, more dramatic. He wanted to take Indra down a peg.
Pretty much. He wanted to curb Indra's ego.
Yeah.
Because even though Indra was powerful, supposedly a devotee himself, all that heavenly opulence ruling the cosmos, it had kind of gone to his head.
He gotten puffed up, as the text says.
Right, puffed up. Even a celestial being can forget that all power ultimately comes from and is sanctioned by the Supreme. Krishna needed to remind Indra that he was a manager, a powerful one, yeah, but not the ultimate boss.
And that required something direct, something challenging.
It really did, a
Yeah.
very public intervention.
Which takes us straight into the really revolutionary bit, the philosophical debate. To argue against Indra, Krishna takes on this, well, it sounds almost atheistic at first glance.
It's a brilliant rhetorical move, actually. He temporarily adopts the viewpoint of the Karma Marga school.
Okay, Karma Marga. For anyone listening who isn't familiar, what's the simple version of that?
The simplest way to think about it is like the radical work ethic school.
Radical work ethic. Okay, explain that.
Their core belief is results come from work, period. Karma produces results. You work, you get paid. You don't necessarily need, divine intervention for your paycheck. You get it because you did the work.
I see.
So Krishna takes this idea and runs with it, saying, why focus on demigods? Look, everyone gets results based on their actions, their karma, life after life. You should just focus on doing your prescribed duties diligently. He's making an argument for self-reliance through focused action.
Wow, that's quite a move. Using a philosophy, basically, about work ethic to dismantle the need to worship the god who controls the very resource they need for their work. But Nanda, his father, he pushes back, right? He doesn't just accept it.
No, Nanda's no fool. He argues back, saying, look, material causes alone aren't enough. You need the sanction of the supreme personality of Godhead for anything to actually work out.
Okay.
He gives examples like a really sick person might get the absolute best doctors, the best medicine, but if that higher sanction isn't there, they still die.
Yeah.
He's saying there's more to it than just cause and effect.
That feels like a strong counterargument. How does Krishna handle that?
He loops right back to duty. Krishna's point is, Well, okay, but the demigods only give results to people who are doing their prescribed duties anyway.
Ah, right.
So in a way, the demigods depend on people doing their duties first. That makes the demigods secondary, not the ultimate source. So why focus on the dependent middleman? Just focus on your work.
That's
Right?
clever. Yeah, that's clever. So he sort of philosophically cut Indra out of the equation. Then he brings it back to their specific duties. He identifies them clearly as the Vaishya community.
Mm-hmm.
And for our listeners, Vaishya traditionally means the business class, farmers, merchants.
That's right. And Krishna lists their proper duties: agriculture, trade, banking, and protecting the cows. Then he narrows it down further, saying the Vandavana community really focuses on cow protection.
Okay.
And then he brings it all home. He says basically, look, we're Vaishyas. Our connection, our real relationship is with Govardhana Hill right here and this Vandavana forest. That's it. Nothing more.
It's an argument for extreme localization. Why bother with some distant, moody king of heaven when rain is just part of nature's cycle,
Yeah.
caused by the motive passion, he says, not Indra's whim?
Exactly. So his conclusion is stop the Indra sacrifice. Instead, let's satisfy the local Brahmanas, the learned priests right here, and Govardhana Hill itself.
Which leads us right into the next phase. The Govardhana Puja, this instant revolution. Nanda Maharaja is convinced by the logic, he agrees, but Krishna insists this needs to happen now.
Yeah, the speed is incredible. Krishna basically says, don't wait. Take everything you already gathered for Indra, all the food, all the paraphernalia, and use it right now to worship Govardhana Hill.
And the result was just spectacular, this new ceremony. The Annakuta mountain of food. Krishna gave super specific instructions, didn't he? Huge amounts of food.
Oh, vast quantities. Grain and ghee transformed into everything you can imagine. Rice, dal, halava, pakora, sweet rice, sweet balls. Just mountains of it. It wasn't just an offering. It was this massive communal feast celebrating their own work, their produce.
It really was a community effort. But what really jumps out from the description isn't just the amount of food. It's how incredibly inclusive Krishna mandated it to be. It's like a blueprint for a whole different kind of society.
Totally. A cooperative economy, a cooperative society.
How so? It wasn't just about offering to the hill.
No, not at all. The instructions were very clear. Distribute the blessings to everyone. Feed the learned Brahmins, give them charity, absolutely. Decorate the cows, feed them really well. Cow protection is central. The sources really emphasize that.
Yep.
But then, and this is the really radical part, they were specifically told to give generous prisadam, the sanctified food, to the lower animals, like dogs, and even to the lower grades of people, such as the Kenśulas.
Wait, hold on. The Kenśulas, in
Yeah.
the traditional system, they were basically outcasts, right? Untouchables.
Exactly. The fifth class considered untouchable. Krishna specifically commands, feed them. Feed the people at the very bottom of the social ladder with the same respect, the same generous portions as everyone else.
That's a complete overturning of the social order.
It really is. The message couldn't be clearer that this new way, this path of devotion, it's for everyone. It's fundamentally inclusive. It's cooperative. From the top scholar to the animals, even the most marginalized, everyone gets included in the circle of mercy.
So the whole community comes together. They do this huge worship, chanting, walking around the hill. And then comes the moment that seals the deal, the big confirmation.
Yeah, the ultimate proof. To make it absolutely undeniable, Krishna suddenly expands into this gigantic divine form. He declares, I am Govardhana Hill, and then proceeds to eat all the mountains of food they offered.
Wow.
He accepted their service directly, showing them that the hill and he were non-different.
And that established it. That's why even today, devotees see the hill itself, or even small stones from it, as Krishna. The old ritual was gone, the new focus of worship was dramatically confirmed, but, like you said earlier, you don't just defy the king of heaven and expect him to stay quiet. You can't just cancel the Indra Yajna and have no comeback.
Oh, definitely not. Indra finds out and he is absolutely livid, blinded by rage. The source material actually details his thinking. He dismisses Krishna as just some talkative kid.
Right.
And he thinks the cowherd men have gotten arrogant, puffed up because of their new friend. He takes it completely personally, an insult to his authority.
So how does the king of heaven retaliate against this small rural community?
He calls in the big guns, the Sāṁvartaka cloud.
The Sāṁvartaka. That's not just any rain cloud, is it?
No, this is the cloud used for cosmic annihilation, the one reserved for dissolving the entire universe at the end of an age. Indra orders that cloud to go to Vindavana and just flood it, wipe them out completely.
That's terrifying. And the attack itself sounds horrific in the description.
It really was. Water pouring down as thick as pillars, is how the text puts it, just torrential. Plus massive winds, terrifying lightning, thunder, even huge chunks of hail or ice crashing down, all the low ground floods instantly. The animals, especially the cows, are just shivering, terrified, freezing.
It was clearly meant to destroy them, an existential threat.
And aimed right at their livelihood, the cows. Krishna saw it immediately for what it was. Indra throwing a cosmic tantrum, trying to prove his power and destroy them for their defiance.
And this brings us to maybe the most famous image from this whole story. Krishna's response wasn't to fight the clouds head on. It was something else entirely. Effortless protection.
Effortless is the key word. He just walks over to Govardhana hill, the very hill they just worshipped, and lifts it up with one hand.
Just like that.
The text gives this amazing comparison. He lifted it exactly as a child picks up a mushroom from the ground. Just poof, up it goes. The ease of it just highlights his unbelievable power.
A mountain is a giant umbrella. And the whole community, everyone, families, belongings, all their cows, their calves, they all crowded underneath. For 7 days.
One solid week. While those devastating Sāṁvartaka clouds just raged outside. But Indra, watching this, he was completely baffled. Thunderstruck, the text says. This kid just picked up a mountain. Seeing Krishna's mystic power, realizing he was totally outmatched, Indra finally gave up. Called off the storm.
And Krishna.
He just gently, slowly put the hill right back where it belonged. The battle was over.
The immediate drama ends, but the lessons aren't finished. We get to part 5, submission. Indra realizes he messed up. Badly. He approaches Krishna, finds him in a quiet spot, and just falls down, offering obeisances.
Yeah, he completely gets it now. He flat out admits his mistake was because he was puffed up by his false prestige. He finally sees Krishna's real nature. He calls him Vijuda Satva.
That sounds important. What does Vijuda Satva mean, basically?
It means purely transcendental, totally beyond the material mode's goodness, passion, ignorance that control even powerful demigods like Indra. He recognized Krishna as the ultimate source, the original father, who sometimes appears just to correct people, like Indra, who forget who's actually in charge and start thinking they're God.
The ultimate reality check from the actual boss. And Krishna's reaction is interesting, grave, but also merciful.
Very merciful. He smiles, but speaks seriously. He tells Indra he stopped the sacrifice precisely to show him causeless mercy.
How is stopping his worship merciful?
Because, Krishna explains, he is the eternal master. And this is a really key teaching from the whole event. He says that sometimes when he sees someone totally overcome by false pride, puffed up by wealth, power, position, he does them a special kind of favor.
A favor, which is?
He takes it all away, withdraws all their opulences, power, prestige, wealth, gone.
Ouch. That sounds harsh.
It's definitely a severe mercy, but the idea is to help them surrender, to cleanse away that false ego, that pride, so that real humility and genuine devotion can actually start. It's a purification, even if it's painful.
Wow, okay. And after this conversation, there's more confirmation, right?
Yes.
A special cow appears.
Yes, a Sarabi cow, one of the celestial cows from the spiritual world, Govardhana, shows up. She bathes Krishna with her own milk and declares him Govinda.
Govinda meaning?
Protector of the cows, primarily, but also implicitly their real Indra, their true leader and protector.
And the whole atmosphere changes after this.
Instantly. The text described the land becoming flooded with the milk of the cows, rivers flowing with sweet liquids. Even the animals stopped being envious of each other. The whole environment just reflected the purity and harmony restored by Krishna's presence and authority.
So let's bring it all together. What's the big takeaway from this deep dive? It feels like this one single event, just 7 days, managed to establish so much.
It really did. Theologically, it clearly established that exclusive devotion to the Supreme, to Krishna, is superior to the traditional ritualistic worship of demigods for temporary results.
Okay, that's one.
Economically and ethically, it laid out this model based on protecting nature, specifically the cows, as central to prosperity. And socially,
That radical inclusivity.
exactly, mandating that divine grace, prosperity, even just food had to be shared with everyone, down to the animals and the most marginalized humans, the Kenśulas. It's a blueprint for a cooperative, compassionate society.
So theology, economy, social structure, all redefined in 1 week under a mountain.
Pretty much. And maybe we can leave you, the listener, with that really profound point Krishna made to Indra about opulence.
About taking it away as a form of mercy.
Yeah. We tend to think of wealth, status, power, influence as just good things, signs of success. But Krishna's teaching here flips that. It suggests that sometimes great material opulence can actually be a major obstacle. It can block humility, block real understanding.
So the final thought to mull over is,
What are the things we consider opulence today? Maybe it's not heavenly kingdoms, but maybe it's financial wealth or social media status, political influence, even just being proud of our knowledge. What forms of false prestige might be holding us back? And counterintuitively, could losing some of that actually bring us closer to a deeper, more honest realization of who we are and our connection to something greater? That's definitely something we're thinking about.